Has a global superstar in the class of J-Hope BTS ever had dark days during military service? And do these surprising things actually bring about major changes in his life? When the name of J-Hope, a member of the phenomenal K-pop group BTS, made it onto the draft list, fans and the media wondered, what would he experience in a world away from the spotlight and glitter of the stage? For many, conscription is not just a physical exercise and a formal duty. It is a mental test, an experience that can change a person to the core. However, what if someone as popular as J-Hope had to pass the test? Will he get special treatment, or will he have to struggle to adapt to a rigid military life? From the outside, some suspect that J-Hope will undergo military service like an ordinary soldier, stripping his idol status and following all the rules without exception. But this hope actually raises new questions. How will J-Hope adjust to the different worlds of K-pop glamour and the harsh realities of the military? Will he discover new things about himself, or feel limited in living a role without the title of superstar? Some fans were emotional at the thought of J-Hope, the man they know as Vitamin BTS, going through various military challenges without the direct support of the other BTS members. In every photo or message he posts before leaving, it can be seen how strongly he wants to make ARMY, BTS fans, proud, but worries about what he might face remain unavoidable. After undergoing an enlistment procession full of media attention and fan expectation, J-Hope enters the military world with passion and hope. However, the reality on the ground is far from what many imagine. In everyday life, J-Hope is known for his cheerful personality, energetic dancing, and stunning appearance. However, in an olive green uniform, he is a soldier who must obey every order and go through a harsh routine. From day one, J-Hope is faced with an unimaginable test of discipline. Physical training that demands his physical and mental endurance is tested under hot temperatures and very exhausting activities. The morning began earlier than usual, with a series of physical exercises that made his muscles scream in pain. According to some reports, J-Hope never complained, even when forced to get up earlier than the usual hours of sleep he enjoyed as an idol. However, the challenges do not stop there. This experience brings J-Hope to an unusual situation. Outside of the glamorous shadow of being an idol, she has to show assertiveness and confidence in front of people she just met. This task, although strenuous, teaches J-Hope the meaning of responsibility and leadership in a very different context. The decisions he made during rehearsals became very meaningful, and he often reflected on how different this situation was compared to life on stage. On the other hand, J-Hope still tries to give his best in every task. He realizes that despite being in a very different world, there are valuable lessons to be learned from each challenge he faces. Military training is not just about physical strength. It is a journey towards self-development and deeper self-discovery. When J-Hope stepped into the military life, he brought with him a wealth of experience and fame as one of the members of BTS. However, behind the uniform he wears, there is a dilemma to be faced. How to establish relationships with fellow soldiers who may not fully understand his position and background. In this atmosphere full of discipline and responsibility, the challenge of finding a balance between honor as a warrior and his status as a superstar is increasingly real. In the early days of training, J-Hope felt how alien this new world was. While his peers lived ordinary days as young men just learning to live a military life, he was a globally recognized figure. Its popularity can be a double-edged sword. On the one hand, it gets more attention. On the other, it feels like a distance is being created. How could he have made friends with people who didn't know about the glamorous life he once lived? However, as with many challenges in life, J-Hope did not back down. He seeks to build relationships in a sincere way. In each training session, he showed the same dedication as his peers, striving to be an example in terms of hard work and perseverance. This began to create respect among the members of his group. The Army friends begin to realize that behind J-Hope's cheerful smile, there is a soldier who is ready to fight with them. From this experience, J-Hope learns that life in the military is not only about obedience and discipline, but also about building meaningful relationships with those around him. With the sincerity of his heart, he managed to turn this difficult experience into a valuable lesson about friendship and mutual respect. Entering the military not only brings J-Hope into a world full of discipline and responsibility, but also puts him at the crossroads between his status as a superstar and his identity as an ordinary soldier. As physical and mental training progresses, the challenges that arise are not only physical. J-Hope faces a mental struggle that may be deeper and more complicated than he ever thought in training. J-Hope is faced with a situation where he has to face criticism and judgment from his superiors and fellow soldiers. In the military world, everything is measured with precision and discipline. Although J-Hope goes to great lengths to show her dedication and commitment, there are times when she feels pressured by too high expectations of herself. Every mistake, no matter how small, seemed heavier to him, as if he had failed not only as a soldier, but also as a recognizable figure in the eyes of the world. In the midst of this journey, J-Hope begins to realize that the mental pressures she faces as a public figure are much more complex. Being under the public spotlight means that his every step is measured and analyzed by many people. As news of him in the military began to spread, he realized that the expectations of fans and the media were not always in line with the reality he was experiencing. The expectation of always appearing perfect and positive in front of fans adds a mental burden that is difficult to bear. Over time, the military training that J-Hope underwent began to show results. He not only adapts to the exhausting physical demands, but also learns to accept himself and overcome his fears. In a challenging situation, J-Hope begins to discover new powers that she never realized existed within herself. Every challenge he faces, from strenuous training to the responsibility of being a leader, provides valuable lessons. J-Hope realizes that in order to be a good soldier, he must learn to trust the process and himself. On one occasion, during grueling battle training, he tried to push himself to keep moving despite the exhaustion. At the time, he recalled the difficult times he faced while in the music industry. All the sacrifices and hard work that shaped who he is now. In the midst of the rigors of training, J-Hope also began to gain recognition from his superiors and colleagues. He is considered a reliable figure and is always ready to help. As he successfully completes a seemingly impossible mission, J-Hope feels proud of his accomplishment. This experience made him realize that the courage and perseverance that had been taught in the entertainment world were also very relevant on the battlefield. Beyond physical training and duties, J-Hope began to engage in other activities in the military. He took part in self-development programs held in his unit, where he learned about leadership, teamwork, and effective communication. In this training, J-Hope can use his skills as an entertainer to inspire his colleagues. He shared his experience on how to build confidence and team spirit in a group, something he has done over the years in the music world. More than that, this training gives J-Hope a new perspective on life. He realized that while the entertainment world offered pleasure and success, the military world taught the values of discipline, humility, and gratitude. J-Hope began writing more in his journal, summarizing the lessons he learned and how it contributed to his personal development. She feels grateful for this experience, albeit difficult, as it helped shape her into a better individual. During these times of reflection, J-Hope also began to build hope for the future. He reimagined his time with BTS, planned his upcoming concerts, and how he would return to the stage with renewed vigor. This thought gives new energy in each exercise, and he feels more and more connected to his colleagues. The awakening of this spirit is an incentive to fight harder in training. With all his experiences and lessons learned, J-Hope not only strives to complete his military duty, but also to inspire others with the story of his journey. He understands that life is a series of experiences that shape who we are, and he wants to share the lessons he has learned during these difficult times with the world. Of course, Jungkook and Jimin can experience challenges similar to those J-Hope experienced while serving in the army. The experience in the military is not just a matter of going through a tough physical task, but also a matter of mental and emotional adjustment that may be very different from their life as a K-pop idol. Life is drastically different from the world of entertainment. As idols, Jungkook and Jimin are accustomed to freedom of expression, camera highlights, and schedules that can be adjusted by management. In the military, that freedom turns into a strict routine, rules that must be followed without exception, as well as restrictions in communicating and sharing daily activities with the public. Mental and emotional challenges. IT is not easy for those who are used to being in the middle of the support of fans and strong teams to face isolation and limited access to the outside world. Just like J-Hope, who felt lonely in the early days of his enlistment, Jungkook and Jimin likely faced homesickness for family, friends, as well as the stage and fans that were a big part of their lives. This loneliness can be a mental challenge in itself that requires great emotional strength. Struggle to adapt to new structures. In the military, hierarchy and discipline are paramount. Although as artists they were used to working hard, the highly disciplined structure in the military forced them to adapt to a new way of doing things. As J-Hope feels, who initially had to get used to the physical routine and military discipline, Jungkook and Jimin may have experienced the same thing when they first adapted. Find support among comrades in arms. Although they may have difficulties at the beginning, conscription also provides an opportunity to find new friends. Just as J-Hope finds a deep friendship with his comrades in the barracks, Jungkook and Jimin will likely also find support from fellow soldiers who are in the same situation. This support can be a source of encouragement in the midst of the harsh life of the barracks. Lessons for the future and career. Conscription can be an enriching experience for their lives after returning to the entertainment world. Just as J-Hope brought about a change in himself after his military days, Jungkook and Jimin will probably have a new perspective on life, relationships with fans, and the direction of their careers.